Shri Gurubhyo Namaha, children. I welcome you all to our online learning initiative Ekalaiva. And today in this video, we are going to learn about the structure of female reproductive system. Now, last two videos, we completed the structure of our male reproductive system. And today we are going to start with the structure of female reproductive system. As you all know, female reproductive system, it is present inside the abdominal cavity of female, that is lower abdominal cavity contains all those reproductive organs, as we are calling it as a reproductive system. And in this video, we are going to learn about the different organs present in the female reproductive system. And what is the importance of this female reproductive system in human beings? When you see this female reproductive system, it is essential for producing female gamete, of course, and this female gamete is nothing but our ovum. Female gamete is called ovum. This ovum, simply we will call it as egg. Ovum, it is simply called as egg. And it is giving protection. Once that egg is fertilized, it is giving protection to the developing embryo. And after the incubation period of gestation period of 9 months, the female can deliver a baby. So that is the actual function of our female reproductive system. And what are the organs present in this female reproductive system? When you see, it includes some organs. Organs, that is a pair of ovaries, a pair of oviduct, uterus, cervix, vagina, external genitalia, and a pair of mammary glands. Actually these things, that is pair of ovaries, oviduct, uterus, cervix, vagina, everything, it comes under internal genitalia. Internal genitalia in the sense the genital organs which are present inside the body, inside the abdominal cavity. Whereas, even as in case of male, even female also have some external genitalia. You see what are those organs present in external genitalia, and all these things it is present, you know that. And the thorax region of female human, they are having a pair of mammary glands, and those mammary glands also included under this female reproductive system, as it is involved in taking care of the babies after their delivery. Mammary glands, because of the presence of these mammary glands only, all the animals, human beings and all, we have classified under mammals. What is the importance of mammary glands? They'll be secreting the fluid called milk to nurture, which is acting as a feed for their young ones. So this is about the organs present in our female reproductive system. One by one, we'll see the structure of all these organs. As I told you already, all these things comes under internal genitalia. That is, this structure is our ovary. This structure is ovary. All human female, they have pair of ovaries, and this tube, from ear to ear, we will call that as our fallopian tube. Fallopian tube, simply we can call it as uterine tube, or oviduct. Then this structure, it is called uterus, and this tube which opens to exterior, we will call it as vagina. So internal genitalia, it includes all these organs. One after the other, we will see the structural details of these organs. So this is the detailed structure of our female reproductive system. Pair of ovaries, pair of oviduct, pair of oviduct, and this muscular sac is called uterus, and the mouth of this uterus is called cervix, cervix, and this tube, which is opening to the exterior, we will call it as vagina, which is acting as a birth canal. And there is a part called isthmus of uterus. This part is called the body of the uterus. That is isthmus, and followed by the body of the uterus. Then we have the uterus walls, endometrium, myometrium, perimetrium. Perimetrium, outer wall, middle wall is called myometrium, and the inner wall is called endometrium. All those things we are going to see. So fimbriae. Okay, actually it is, or should not come here. Okay, it is actually fimbriae. That fimbriae is the opening of our fallopian tube, which collects the ovum at the time of ovulation. When this ovary releases that ovum, this fimbriae collects that ovum. Okay, then ampulla. Okay, this is this wider part of the fallopian tube, which is followed immediately after the fimbriae. We will call it as ampulla, and the distal portion of the tube is called isthmus. Okay, and it is having ovary, and this part is called ovarian ligament. Okay, when you see the location of this ovaries, the ovaries are present, pair of ovaries, each on one side. Okay, it is present in the pelvic cavity. Okay, that lower abdominal part, we will call it as a pelvic cavity. Okay, in human female, in that pelvic cavity, these ovaries are located, and how it is situated, how it is located inside our body, when you see, it is because of some ligament, okay, which is getting connected with the peritoneum of our body wall. Okay, here, what is that when you see? These ovaries attached to the body of the uterus and to the body of the body wall. Okay, it is by the ligament called ovarian ligament. This is called ovarian ligament. This part is called ovarian ligament, and this ligament, okay, which is attaching to the ovary with the fallopian tubes wall, okay, we will call it as a suspensory ligament. So this is how these ovaries are located in the pelvic cavity of human female. Okay, and these ovaries, when you see, okay, they have the shape of the ovaries. When you see, okay, they'll be looking like an unshelled almond. Okay, on either side, okay, it will be having the shape of unshelled almond, and how it is located, I told you already, with the help of that ovarian ligament. Okay, and that broader ligament, okay, with the help of which the uterus ligament, broader ligament, with the help of which it is attached to the ovary, we will call that fold of ligament as mesovarium. Okay, this part with which it is attached, ovary attached to the uterus wall. Okay, that folding of that membrane, we will call it as mesovarium of that broad ligament. Okay, and the median part, it is attached. This is actually called ovarian ligament. Okay, this portion is called ligament of ovary. It is given here. Okay, we can even call it as ovarian ligament. Ovarian ligament. Okay, then its lateral part. Its lateral part. Okay, this lateral end. Okay, it is in contact with the fimbriae of this finger-like projections are there in the tubes. No, that is called fimbriae. Fimbriae of the uterine tube. It is there in contact of this fimbriae. Okay, when learn about that uterine tubes, we'll see what is the importance of that fimbriae. So this is how ovaries are located in the pelvic cavity of human female. Then structural details. When you see, before going into the structural details, what is the importance? What are the functions of these ovaries? When you see, these ovaries, as I told you already, they were producing eggs. Okay, in case of female, after attending their puberty, every month, okay, one of the ovaries is producing one egg every month. Okay, and it also secretes ovarian hormones. What are those ovarian hormones? When you see it, is they are estrogen and progesterone, which are essential for all the secondary sexual characters and all the reproductive processes taking place in the human female. Yes, children? So this is about the functions of ovary. And when you see the structural details of ovary, the walls of ovary, okay, the ovarian wall, it is made up of a cubical epithelium, okay, which we are calling it as the germinal epithelium. Okay, in your lower classes, you have learned about different types of epithelium present in human beings. Okay, and one of the types is cubical epithelium, and the ovary wall is made up of a special type of epithelium called cubical epithelium, and this cubical epithelium is named as germinal epithelium. This outer wall, actually, this is called the germinal epithelium. And inner to this germinal epithelium, there is a connective tissue which we are calling it as a tunica albuginea. Okay, next to this germinal epithelium, inner to this germinal epithelium, there is a connective tissue, a layer of connective tissue. That layer we will call it as tunica albuginea. Okay, and this tunica albuginea actually it encloses the structure called ovarian stroma. Okay, this part, this space which is enclosed. Okay, we will call that the space enclosed by this albuginea, tunica albuginea, we will call it as ovarian stroma. Okay, and this ovarian stroma consists of two parts. Okay, the outer dense part and inner less dense part. Okay, so this is actually ovarian stroma. Ovarian stroma. It consists of two parts, that is outer dense part, which we will call it as cortex. Okay, outer dense part is called cortex and inner less dense part is called medulla. Okay, any organ we will have this cortex and medulla. Okay, outer layer, this portion is called cortex, and here when you see, okay, I'm drawing a line here. So this part of our ovary, we will call it as cortex. This area, it is called as cortex. It is highly dense, okay, and it is containing all those developing follicles. Okay, the follicular development, ovulation, everything it is taking place in this cortex region only. And this medullary part, okay, it contains the blood vessels. Okay, the blood supply to this ovary, actually it is taking, the blood vessels are present in this medullary region of our ovaries. Okay, this is how the cortex and medulla, it is making the structure of our ovaries. And this is how the ovaries will have ovarian follicles which are at different stages of their development. Okay, under oogenesis, we will see about how the ovarian follicles undergoing their development and how it is involved in the production of functional ovum. And this is about the structure of our ovaries. Thank you, children.